Morning Child by Gardner Dozois, Omni, January 1984. Salvador by Lucius Shepard, the magazine of fantasy and science fiction, April 1984. Sunken Gardens by Bruce Sterling, Omni, June 1984. And the winner is...
To begin with a very special award, and I would like Paul Wilson to introduce this.
Well, we want to honor a very special couple in the audience tonight, and before I ask them to come up here, I just want to say a few words about them. They were in publishing before most of us were born. I've long been intimate with their books. I have bought every science fiction book they published. Not that way. Not that way. All sorts of kinks come out up here. But I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes when they were publishing. So I asked a few people who should know, like David Hartwell, and there he is. And I looked him up in The Way the Future Was by Frederick Cole. And I learned that he did the publishing, and he gained a reputation as a publisher who couldn't help seeing the author's side of it. And back in the early 50s, when they started the firm that still bears their name, every paperback company was paying 4% royalty to its authors. He decided to pay 8%. Other mass market publishers were buying up original paperbacks or reprint rights to hardcovers. And he decided to try the unheard of thing of simultaneous publication of a hardcover and softcover. This allowed his authors to get into libraries who turned up their noses at hardcovers then. Softcovers then. And to be reviewed in places that did the same thing and still do it, as we all know. Every other paperback publisher at the time was playing it safe with westerns and bestseller reprints. He and she decided to take a chance on a bastard field called science fiction, and they actually established the first science fiction line. And they even published a statement of intent, and I have a few sentences from it. To provide a series of books of the highest quality, both by established writers and the best newcomers. The finest books in the field, the good writers of science fiction deserve a large-scale medium on which they can depend for the opportunity for full and serious expression. A medium anxious to encourage consistently the best of which they are capable. Now she, on the other hand, she had the task of fulfilling this pledge. It's nice to give it to the women, you know, we got the ideas, and they have to do the work. She edited the line, and she published seminal works like A Case of Conscience by James Blish, Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, Arthur C. Clarke's Childhood's End, The Space Merchants by Frederick Pohl and C.M. Kornbluth, More Than Human by Theodore Sturgeon, Gore Vidal's Messiah. Nobody's perfect. Just about everything John Wyndham wrote. And she also obtained major works from the likes of Poul Anderson, Anthony Boucher, Algis Budrys, Hal Clement, Philip Jose Farmer, Henry Kuttner, C.L. Moore, Robert Sheckley, Jack Vance, Richard Wilson, many others. Fantasy wasn't neglected either. There were horror anthologies like Graveyard Reader, Deals with the Devil, and who can forget Zacherle's Midnight Snacks, Zacherle's Vulture Stew. Right. Yeah. That was Pigeon. No, but really, that was where most of us first met Bierce, Collier, Dunsany, Le Fanu, and Lovecraft. But they lived up to their pledge, and you could always count on their SF to tickle your sense of wonder. But many publishers did that, and that wasn't what made their line unique. They published an incredible variety of SF, ranging from the deadly serious to wild satire. Yet no matter what its tone, their SF never failed to engage the intellect. And, thank you, Charlie. It's spelled Wilson, by the way, Charlie. So we got together at SFWA and we decided we were long overdue in recognizing them. It's not a Grand Master Award, although they are Grand Masters in their field. And they received numerous awards from all sorts of publishing groups. But this one really counts. This is from us, the writers, and this one's from the heart. And it reads, "In grateful appreciation for decades of devotion and countless contributions to the fields of science fiction and fantasy." And if you don't know who they are by now, you're at the wrong banquet. Ian and Betty Ballantyne.
This is a very remarkable occasion for both Ian and myself. And I really don't have any cogent remarks to make, except that I was a child publisher. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Now, Paul Wilson is about to disappear to organize the SFWA Suite Bar, and that's something that he should not be prevented from doing. But wait a moment. Before he does that, I just want to point out to all of you that Paul organized this whole thing tonight, and I would just like to thank him from all of us for everything he did. Thank you, Paul. Get plenty of ice, would you? Now we move on to the annual Nebula Awards, and what I'm going to do there is introduce 4 people, one for each category, who will describe the award in that category. First of all, I'd like to call on Jack Dan, who will talk about the Nebula Award for short story. Where is he? There he is. Come up, right. Yeah. If somebody's not here, please let me know. Right?
Well, Jeannie, I finally got up here. The nominees for short story are The Aliens Who Knew I Mean Everything by George Alec Effinger from the magazine of Fantasy and Science Fiction, October 1984. Hello, Ben. A Cabin on the Coast by Gene Wolfe, the magazine of Fantasy and Science Fiction, February 1984. The Eichmann Variations by George Zabrowski, Light Years and Dark, Berkeley. Morning Child by Gardner Dozois, Omni, January 1984. Salvador by Lucius Shepard, the magazine of Fantasy and Science Fiction, April 1984. Sunken Gardens by Bruce Sterling, Omni, June 1984. And the winner is, this is very hard to read, Gardner Dozois, Hawaii.
Front so you can photograph. Down there, but step around so you can photograph. There we go.
Oh! You have to be a lot smaller than I've become to get up here easily tonight. He made it. I'd like to thank first of all, my editor, Ellen Datlow from Omni. I'd like to thank several thousand other people here, but I'll keep it down to a short list. I'd like to thank the people who have given me the most support over the years. Susan Casper, Jack Dan, Michael Swanwick, Virginia Kidd, Dave Hartwell, and there are lots more I should name, but I just don't have time. I'd like to thank you all very much, one and all. Thank you very much.
That's it. Yeah, at the business meeting this morning, we agreed on a special procedure for people who win 2 in a row, Gardner. Now I'd like to ask Charles Grant to introduce the novelette category. Now, where is he? There he is. Come on, Charles. You got the notes.
Oh boy, am I glad I don't have to do this anymore.
My God, look at that little piece.
Nominees for novelette: Bad Medicine by Jack Dan, Blood Child by Octavia E. Butler, The Lucky Strike by Kim Stanley Robinson, The Man Who Painted the Dragon, whatever. I can't read it. Lucius Shepard again. St. Teresa of the Aliens by James Patrick Kelly, and Trojan Horse by Michael Swanwick. And the winner is Blood Child, Octavia Butler.
Right over there, you pick it up and throw it on the front
Where was it published?
I can't remember.
Actually, she wrote it on typescript and threw it out the window.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to thank especially my editor, Shauna McCarthy, who had some good suggestions and questions. And something else. This is really nice. This is beautiful. Oh, I have a thing to thank. I have 2 phobias, really. One is speaking in public, and the other is small, harmless, wormy things that totally disgust me. And this second phobia has caused me embarrassment, annoyance, even danger because of my reactions to things like that. This is the first time it's ever done me any good. I'm so pleased. Thank you.